President Muhammadu Buhari seeks debt cancellation at the United Nations General Assembly. Nigeria Governors Forum gets new chairman. Zamfara State Deputy Governor flags off distribution of grains by the State Commissioner of Information. On business, stock market loses 13 billion naira. An international sin, United States airstrike killed 27 Al-Shabaab militants in Somalia. And in sports, Celtics suspend ex-Nigeria basketball star Udoka. Hello and welcome to SBTV Newsroom. I'm Mukusum Mohammed. President Muhammadu Buhari has addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York for the last time and called for debt cancellation for developing countries, saying it poses severe challenges to the affected nations. Given the country's statement at the 77th General Assembly, the president recalled that he would have first addressed them in 1984 as military head of state, but had his first opportunity in 2015 when he became the democratically elected president of Nigeria. He vowed to entrench a process of free, fair, transparent and credible elections through which Nigerians elect leaders of their choice. Our correspondent Rahama Ibrahim has more on the detail.
While telling the august body that next year there will be a new face speaking for Nigeria from the podium of the Assembly Hall, the president reiterated his commitment to constitutional term limits and Nigeria's efforts to promote the rule of law and democracy in West Africa, citing the country's support to the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau and Chad during their political impasse. Highlighting support for democracy in the sub-region, President Buhari said in the Gambia, Nigeria helped guarantee the first democratic transition since independence and stood by the democratically elected government in Guinea-Bissau when it faced mutiny. He added that following the tragic deaths of President Idris Deby Itno of Chad in the battlefield, Nigeria joined forces with its other neighbors and international partners to stabilize the country and encourage the peaceful transition to democracy, a process which is ongoing. On the war in Ukraine, President Buhari warned that the danger of escalation further justified Nigeria's resolute calls for a nuclear-free world and a universal arms trade treaty, which were necessary measures to prevent global human disasters. Rahama Ibrahim Dosara, SBTV News.
The Sokoto State Governor Alhaji Aminu Tambuwal has replaced his executive state counterpart Kayode Fayemi as the chairman Nigeria Governors Forum. In a statement issued by Abdulrazak Bello Bakindo, Director Media and Public Affairs of NGF, said Tambuwal assumed the position on Thursday at the National Economic Council meeting at Asorok Villa, Abuja, after Fayemi transferred the baton of office to him. The statement stated that Governor Tambuwal will be holding fort until May 2023, when a proper election is conducted among the governors. Prior to his new role, Governor Tambuwal served as vice president of the forum under Fayemi in the last 4 years. The Mineral Resources and Environmental Management Committee has commended the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for tackling illegal mining activities and non-payment of royalties through the federal government. The chairman of the group, who doubles as the chairman of Nigeria Mining and Geoscience Society Ilorin chapter, Mr. Abdurrahman Otan, made the commendation during a solidarity visit to the Commission's zonal command in Ilorin. Mr. Otan declared support for the intervention of the EFCC in regulating the mining sector, which he described as a bold step. He expressed the readiness of the committee to collaborate and partner with the Commission while urging every sector of the economy to work with the anti-graft agency in order to rid the country of corruption. Responding, the zonal commander, Mr. Michael Nzekwe, expressed delight with the visit, saying there is still hope for Nigeria. The Zamfara State Deputy Governor, Senator Hassan Nasiha, has flagged off distribution of grains by the State Commissioner for Information, Alhaji Ibrahim Magaji Dosara. The flag-off ceremony took place on the 22nd of September in Maradun local government area of the state. The State Commissioner for Information, Alhaji Dosara, said the aim is to reach 524 less privileged and orphans in the 10 wards of the local government area. The State Deputy Governor, who flagged the distribution, thanked the Commissioner for his gesture towards helping the less privileged and orphans and prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward him immensely. A gubernatorial aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in Zamfara State, Engineer Ibrahim Shehu, as well as the Akkad Party have approached the Federal High Court Gusau, asking for another interlocutory stopping the PDP from conducting fresh primary election for the post of governor on Friday, the 23rd of September 2022. For more on the report, Zainab Abdulwasiu.
The notice of the substantive suit was served on both the Independent National Electoral Commission and the People's Democratic Party. Engineer Shehu and Akkad Party are asking for the courts to stop the PDP from conducting fresh governorship primaries. Hence, the exercise is not in compliance with the provision of Section 82, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. The Federal High Court Gusau, presided over by Justice Aminu Bappa, has slated Tuesday, the 27th of September 2022 for the hearing of the matter. All parties were duly served with appropriate court notice, and it is expected that they stay in action pending when the matter come up on Tuesday. Zainab Abdulwasiu reporting for Standard Voice Television.
The Kebbi State Police has successfully arrested suspect of criminal conspiracy, culpable homicide and armed robbery, among others. This was disclosed by the Kebbi State Commissioner of Police CP Ahmed Magaji Kuntagora in a press briefing held at the Kebbi State Police Command. Sumaya Ibrahim Dosara has more on the report.
According to the CP, one Muhammad Lawali, also known as Kaska, was for armed robbery, and when interrogated, the suspect confessed to the crime, and one single barrel gun and a matches were recovered in his possession. Another Suraj Suleiman, also known as CL7 of Jiga Town, was also arrested, and when interrogated, the suspect confessed to the crime, and 4 Bajaj motorcycles were recovered in his possession. He also said the command also arrested one Farida Abubakar, who is a suspect in the murder of her ex-husband. The CP called on all law-abiding citizens to always be watchful, vigilant, and avail the police and other security agencies with timely and accurate information that will assist in not making Kebbi State a safe haven for criminal elements. Sumaya Doso reporting for SVTV News.
The National Emergency Management Agency has presented relief materials to Kano State for distribution to flood victims in 4 local government areas. The Director General NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed Habib, who made the closure while presenting the relief materials in Kano, said the Kantin Quarry Market will also benefit from the donation. The benefiting local government areas are Kiru, Albasu, Ajingi, and Dawakin Kudu. According to Ahmed Habib, the items distributed include 4,200 bags of rice, 4,200 bags of beans, 4,200 bags of maize, 700 kegs of 20 liters of vegetable oil, 350 cartons of seasoning cube, and 100 cartons of tomato paste, among others. He explained that the intervention was a testimony of the federal government's concern for the wealth and well-being of the people. He also commended the state government for taking disaster risk management to the grassroots through the local emergency management committee. People of Mariga town of Bariko local government area, Niger State, are searching for more than 500 buried corpses suspected to have been washed away by floods. This was disclosed by the Chief Imam of Mariga Central Mosque, Al-Hassan Naibi, while speaking to newsmen. Malam Naibi said the community was in total confusion as it had to relocate about 100 other corpses from the cemetery to another burial ground to curb the happening. The Chief Imam, who relates the problem to activities of illegal miners near the graveyard, lamented that they never experienced such a situation in over 60 years of the cemetery. He, however, appealed to the Niger State government to, as a matter of urgency, come to their aid to curb the situation. And now on business updates.
Audio Jungle.
Trading on the nation's bourse again ended negative as market capitalization lost 13 billion naira or 0.05% to close at 26.657 trillion naira against 26.670 trillion naira. Also, the all-share index lost 23.40 points or 0.05% to close at 49,421.91 from 49,445.31 recorded on Tuesday. The loss was driven by price depreciation in FBN Holdings, Access Holdings and WAPCO. Market sentiment closed positive with 10 gainers relative to 12 losers. Unity Bank led the losers chart in percentage terms by 10% to close at 44k per share. Multiverse followed with 9.82% to close at 3.13, while Fidelity Bank shared 5.46% to close at 3.67 naira per share. Honeywell Flour Mills lost 3.98% to close at 2.35 naira, while Champs shared 3.45% to close at 30k per share. Academy Press dominated the gainers chart in percentage terms with 9.78% to close at 1.66 naira per share. NEM Insurance followed with 6.08% to close at 5.25 naira, while Cadbury rose by 5.45% to close at 13 naira per share. Now on international scene. The U.S. military has announced it had killed 27 fighters from the Al-Shabaab militant group in an airstrike in Somalia's central Hiran region, where the army and allied forces have launched an offensive against the insurgents last month. The United States has been carrying out air strikes in Somalia against Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda franchise for years. According to the U.S. Africa Command website, the strikes was the sixth recorded in 2022. Hiran residents said the Al-Shabaab's torching of houses, destruction of wells and killing of civilians, combined with demands for taxes amidst the worst drought in 40 years, has pushed locals to form paramilitary groups to fight alongside the government. Africa Command in a statement said the militants, who are seeking to overthrow the Western-backed central government and implement a strict interpretation of Islamic law, were killed while attacking federal forces near Bolobad, a town around 200 kilometers north of the capital Mogadishu. Now in sports updates. Boston Celtics have suspended head coach and former The Tigers forward Ime Udoka for the 2022/2023 NBA season after he entered into a relationship with a female member of staff. Udoka, 45, who led the Celtics to the NBA Finals earlier this year in his fourth season as a head coach, was suspended for violations of the team policies. The team added that a decision about Udoka's future beyond 2022 to 2023 will be made at a later date. Assistant coach Joe Mazzulla will be promoted to interim head coach. Reacting to his suspension, Udoka wrote in a statement apologizing to the players, fans and the entire Celtics organization and also his family for letting them down. The Celtics won 28 of their final 35 games in the regular season to reach the playoffs and went on to make the NBA Finals for the first time in 12 years. And that's all we have on news update for today. But before we go, a quick look at the major headlines once again. President Muhammadu Buhari seeks debt cancellation at the United Nations General Assembly. Nigeria Governors Forum gets new chairman. Zamfara State Deputy Governor flags off distribution of grains by the State Commissioner of Information. On business, stock market loses 13 billion naira. On international scene, United States airstrike killed 27 Al-Shabaab militants in Somalia. And in sports, Celtics suspend ex-Nigeria basketball star Udoka. That's the news. Thanks for joining us. Once again, I'm Kuthum Mohammed saying thanks for watching. Do have a nice day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television. Stay tuned for the Hausa version of the news by Abdul Majid Anka.